Hi, I'm Scotty. I'm a professional installer with Secure Homes. I install the majority of secure locks on doors, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. What you need is you need a secure lock, obviously. We then have our 6 3.5-inch heavy-duty screws that we use to secure the secure lock onto the door jamb. We have our drill guns. You really only need one to do this. I use two, one to drill pilot holes, and then I actually have an impactor drill gun. It really helps to get those screws in there a lot easier, but you only need one. An inexperienced person takes probably 10 to 15 minutes to do this. Myself, if I were to zip through, I could probably do it in 5 to 8. But I'm going to show you how to do it, make it as easy as possible, and it should be no problem at all.
Okay, well, we have all our necessary tools that we need, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is line up and make sure everything aligns and matches up correctly. What you want to do is put secure lock against the door jamb here and make sure everything fits. We did allow some wiggle room for the deadbolt and the latch plates, so there's a little bit of room for air. Everything looks like it's going to match up here. A couple things you want to check for when you're aligning. If you have an alarm system, you want to check for your sensors. Some put them on different places. In this door in particular, we're okay here. Just make sure that's not covered up because you don't want to do that. Looks like we have enough room on both sides. That's great. The second thing you want to look for and make sure of is that the secure lock is in behind the weather stripping. You want the secure lock as far back against this piece here as possible, in behind the weather stripping. What you don't want to happen is when the door closes and the weather stripping is engaged, you do not want it to get stuck behind the secure lock, so we put it as far back against there as possible. Looks like everything lines up good, and we are ready to drill our pilot holes.
Okay, now that we have everything lined up, we know everything's ready to go, we can start drilling our pilot holes. Now the way we do things, we drill out the middle 2 screws first. There's 6 along the entire thing. We drill out the middle 2, secure those first, test to make sure the door closes correctly, and then we can go ahead with the rest. I'm going to go ahead and drill out these first 2. Also important to note, as you're drilling the pilot holes, if you're going to angle any which way, you want to angle slightly in towards the middle of the stud. So just really want to stay away from angling out if at all possible. And now we're ready to put some screws in. Okay, we have our pilot holes drilled. Next step is to fasten the secure lock to the door jamb using 3.5-inch heavy-duty screws.
There's one. Impactor drill gun makes a difference.
Okay, now we're going to test to make sure the door closes properly and functions as it should with the secure lock in place.
Okay, we have our 2 middle screws in place. Now what we do is close the door just to make sure everything lines up and works properly. As we can see, the door latches. There's plenty of space. The deadbolt can be engaged. So far, so good. We can now go ahead and put the remaining 4 screws in the secure lock to finish it up.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, now that we have the secure lock on our door, the next step for us, actually the final step, is to go ahead and reinforce your hinge side of the door as well. We do that by simply taking the 2 screws, or the middle screws here on each hinge, and replacing those with 3.5-inch screws. Okay, we have our secure lock installed, we have our hinges reinforced. We hope this video is informative for you, it helped you out. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. This door is now part of Secure Home, and just remember, everyone deserves a secure home.